Hi guys, it's Rike here and welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Rike and I review a lot of activewear. But today we're not going to talk about activewear. So, sometimes I also, very rarely actually, I do have like a little chatty video. I'm going to let you know, or where I talk about what happened, or what is happening in my life, little update, just a little chatty thing, yes. And I also know I should always just before that, I should probably post like a little Q&A so you could, or like an opportunity for you to ask me questions. And I always think about that when I'm about to film that video. So I'm sorry. But if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments down below. Yes, exactly. But yeah, it's a new year, 2025. That's really, really crazy to me. I mean, it's just like time flies so much. Can you believe that, pandemic happened like 5 years ago? Started, I guess, 5 years ago. That's so crazy. I actually do remember it still, so that's good. Yeah. But yeah, I just thought, it's the beginning of a new year. A lot of people always set goals for the year. I don't do it that much. I kind of try to avoid doing anything new at the beginning of the year because things are crazy. If you're an avid gym goer, you'll know it's kind of annoying having all those people with their good intentions there at the beginning of the year because it's so busy and then it kind of dies down mid-February. So yeah, I mean, I still go to my gym right now, but I try to avoid the peak times as much as possible. And usually the gym isn't that busy, even at peak times it's fine. And because I currently live in Denmark, things are always a little bit earlier, so peak times aren't 6 p.m., they're more 4:30, 5 p.m. kind of. So yeah, it's not so bad, but it is busy right now. And it's great that there's all these new people, but just get out of my way. Just let me train in peace, please. Anyway, so I usually try to avoid doing anything new at the beginning of the year. I just kind of continue on and maybe, I don't know, 1 year I was like, oh, I want to read more again. And that, of course, I mean, doesn't really affect anyone else around me. So yeah, I just did that. I just started at the beginning of the year and it worked out fine. And I'm currently at it still. You can also see I have I actually have 2 piles of books here. You can't see the one over here. I'm not going to show you all these books. I just also want to talk about that. So yeah, maybe I like to ramble on a little, but maybe I will clarify what we're going to talk about today. And I hope I won't forget to talk about any of the points I'm going to mention now. So also, of course, if you're you don't care about any of my rambly chatty videos, that's perfectly fine. New activewear reviews are going to be up as always Thursdays and Mondays. So we have that going still this year. That is still the plan for now. And I do have some interesting things planned, some fun things planned. But yeah, let's go through a little bit what we could talk about today. Or what I will talk about today. So we have books, my reading goals for this year. I will also talk a little bit about my gym goals for this year, because I've actually do have some goals that maybe this year I'll actually make happen. Maybe also some travel plans, just some moving plans, because I currently live in an apartment that is more temporary. It's furnished and everything, and we can live here for up to a year, and then we have to find our own thing. So yeah, there's that. And yeah, just life in general. We can also quickly brush up upon the upcoming Buffbunny collection launch, just talk a little bit about my thoughts there, and that is that. Yes. So let's start. I think I'm just going to start with the books because they're right next to me. So I kind of just have 2 piles that are books I want to read, and I kind of base this off of what I have in my shelves, because I do have about 150 books in my shelves that I want to read. Some of them are secondhand books I've had lying around for a while. Some of them are just because, I sometimes do get dragged into this oh my god, this cover is pretty and this is pretty and everyone's talking about this book and about this book. And I like to go to bookstores and then you just kind of get sucked in there. Or my bookstore recently had or still has a sale ongoing the whole January. And it's English paperbacks for 49 Danish kroner, which is about, I can't do the conversion, maybe $7-8, which for Denmark is pretty cheap. So I would say for Denmark this is or at least for this particular bookstore, it's 70% off, kind of. And of course, I don't try to pick up books I would never read anyway, right? I'm not that crazy. So I already went there once a few days ago, just picked up some books that I already had on my wanting to read list anyway. So yeah. And if you want to follow any of my reading, I have a Goodreads profile and I do have a Storygraph profile. And I'm just going to link those in the description box down below so you can befriend me or just follow along, whatever. And I do mainly read like thrillers and mysteries and yeah, crime novels, sci-fi. I do like dystopian novels as well. A little bit of historical novels, a little bit of fantasy as well, but like no romantasy for me. I've realized this is absolutely not my cup of tea. If it's yours, that's perfect, but for me it's just nope. I do not get the hype around Fourth Wing, and I know there's a new book coming out, and like, you know, it's just not mine. Absolutely not. I did listen to the audiobook, and I was just like, because I did, you know, always this FOMO, right? And I was like, no, not my thing. So, yeah. And I forgot one thing that I also read. Oh, the occasional romance novel. Yes. It's always a good palate cleanser. Nice and easy and fast and, you know, just cute. Anyway, so I already did check 2 books off my to be read list. These are the 2 books I finished now. Already this year we have Who Have Never Known Men, which was, because I'm trying to go to this book club here in Copenhagen. And so far I haven't managed because they either scheduled it at a weekend I wasn't here, or like last time we were just like looking at houses and I was like, okay, that's currently more important, trying to find somewhere to live. So I read the book, but I didn't go. And now for January, they chose Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. This is actually translated from French. She was, I'm not sure if she's still alive. Yeah, she died in 2012. So she was a Belgian woman, so born in Belgium. Her family fled to Casablanca when the Nazis invaded, and then she only returned home after the war. But yeah, so this is a dystopian novel. It's kind of described as sci-fi as well, but I think the literary fiction kind of overweighs the sci-fi in this part, so I don't really think it's very sci-fi-esque. It's just more literary fiction, very much about the human condition, as they sometimes say. And very different. It doesn't have chapters so much as it's just like a continuous report. It's told from the point of view of our main character, who's just referred to as the child. And yeah, it's very heavy and there's so many open questions after. I really needed to talk to someone about it, so I was like, great that this is actually a book club pick. And this was also published in 1995. And I have this reading challenge from the English Bookshop, which is a bookstore in Sweden. So they have 3 stores. They have one in Uppsala. This is the original one in Stockholm, and one in Gothenburg. So one of my favorite bookstores. And they did have a reading challenge last year, and it's 52 books plus a bonus book. And there's a few different prompts, so I was trying to already fill out some books that I have at home that I can use for some of the prompts, and this was actually a book published 30 years ago, was this one, so that also matched that, so that was nice. But yeah, very compelling and very like devastating, but also so interesting, and yeah, not a bad book for sure. I gave this one 5 stars. And then the second one is like also kind of like, I guess more of a classic, The Color of Magic by Terry Pratchett. So this is a Discworld novel. If you've never heard of the Discworld, I mean, I don't know, I assume everyone has heard of it, but it's also my brother and my mom are like big fans. I've read everything. And I had this book lying around for, I think, 15 years because I wanted to also get into it, and I never really picked it up. But now I did, and it's kind of fun. It's very humorous. It is fantasy. We have wizards and like all kinds of like trolls and gnomes and like all kinds of creatures. And it's called the Discworld because the world is a disc in this one, carried on the back of 4 elephants who are on the back of a turtle that just waddles through space, basically. So yeah, very entertaining. There's a lot of different books that you can use as the entry to the Discworld, so they're also kind of interconnected. And there's like different ways of reading it. This was the first Discworld novel in general. Not everyone agrees that this is the best starting point, but this is just what I went with. And yeah, it's just very funny. And just like a lot of things are happening. It's very fast paced for sure. And yeah, there's about like, I don't know, 40 other Discworld novels. So this is, once you open this tub, there is a lot. a lot more. But yeah, I bought this book secondhand at some point because my mom has all of them in German. But I do prefer to read novels that have been written in English because I can, and because it's just like, I don't know. I mean, it's just closer to the original because it's the original, right? So, and a lot of humor is based on language. So it's really, really hard to translate things. And I mean, I think the translators that translate this into other languages, they do a great job. But of course, like, it always takes away a little bit from the original. So yeah, that's why I read it in the original language, English. I also do read German books though. Like, especially if it's, of course, from German authors, then I would never pick up an English translation. That's just how it is. Yeah. But otherwise, as you can see, I already have a lot of plans for this. One book, for example, Helen Fielding's Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy. The movie's coming out now in February, I believe. So I got this book in Finland. In Finland and Sweden, it's quite common to have these communal laundry rooms. So in your apartment building, there will be a laundry room downstairs that you can book and you can use it. There's a drying room as well. And in Finland, in my apartment building, there was also a shelf of books where people just put the books they didn't need anymore. So that's where I found this one. And I love the Bridget Jones novels, more the movies, to be fair. And I rewatch them at least once a year, like movie 1 and 2. Not so much the third one. I've rewatched it a few times, but not as much as the first and the second movie. And that's, of course, why I have to. I mean, the novel's already a little bit older. Actually, I think she wrote this before the third movie came out. But the third movie is a very different plot than what happens here. Then she wrote the book about the third movie, and now they're actually making the movie about this book. So it's very complicated. Yeah, and then I also have plans for some classics. We have Fahrenheit 451, maybe more important these days than it was back when it was written in, I forgot when this was written. Let me check. There's so many pre-pages. Just tell me. 1951. 1950. Something like that. So yeah, maybe more important these days. Stuff's happening on this planet and it's not good. We also have Wuthering Heights. I actually did read this a long time ago, but you know, we got some John Grisham, also secondhand book. I listened to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but I really liked it, so I'm gonna read it now. And we also have another classic here, The Man in the High Castle. Never read it. I didn't even finish the Amazon show, to be fair, so curious about that. Another older book, Annihilation. And it just continues. You know, we have some book lovers here, and there's a lot of stuff here. So yeah, a lot of plans for reading, and I'm also excited about this one. I don't know if you know anything about my music taste, but I am a big, like, kind of pop punk fan. I'm just checking that my microphone isn't covered. So I'm reading this book that the front guy, the singer of Sum 41, wrote about his life. Also apparently not easy to read because shit happened. Oh, and I'm sorry for cursing. We have some Babel. That's also, a lot of people love this. So yeah, a lot of stuff. And I'm not going to bore you with the details of all these books. Oops. Now I just have to put them back. Oh. And yeah, there's a whole second pile. So we got a lot of stuff here. I'm telling you. Oh my god. Some thicker ones as well, like some 500, 600 pages, which honestly, I read all the Outlander books. Some of them were like 1,200 pages, so I'm good with that. Anyway, this was books. I'm also, of course, looking forward to doing some more books and activewear for you guys. If you don't know what that is, I'm gonna link my playlist up there. And I'll basically talk about some books I read, and I'm gonna match my activewear outfits to the cover. And that's really fun. I'm actually very much looking forward to that for some of these covers. Like this one is, for example, really, really pretty. So I can totally see that happening. Yes. Anyway, so next up, we can talk about some, I guess, some gym plans. Yes. Because of course, you know, everyone's always like, oh, I want to get fitter. I want to work out more. I want to be, I don't know. I already started this in like November, beginning of December. I was like, you know what? I want to get back into my heavier lifting. I of course lost my gym buddies because I moved and they also moved, but not to where I moved. And So I had like a kind of a struggle last year to get back into my gym routine after moving, and then I moved again. And once I moved to Denmark, I was like, I need to sign up for the gym. I didn't do that in Finland, but here I was like, I signed up for the gym. It's also just a 4-minute walk right now, so pretty good. I signed up for classes again because I think that's the easiest way to get back into the game. But I was like, I also do want more. And I do have the Trainwell app that I talked about a long time ago. So I do have some workouts in there, but I also just wanted to lift heavier again. And I was like, okay, for in order for that to happen, I'd like to have someone look at my form, right? To kind of safely get back to that. And I did invest in a personal trainer from the gym, right? So, I mean, it's she also does coach one of the gym classes that I really, really like, which is also a little bit more weight focused. And I was like, cool, let's do it. And it's really fun. It's been really fun with her. I still have, because I bought like a 10 times pass, right? So I still have some of that left, and she's like putting together the program because she let me try out a lot of different things because she wanted to see how my form is, how heavy I can lift certain things for all the different exercises, so she can make it like really, really interesting. And that's really fun. She's also really excited to have me because, you know, I'm not a beginner, so it's a little bit more interesting than maybe just showing people some machines. And it was also really fun because we did all the big lifts, right? We did some squats. And like I was so unsure about my squats because I never thought I did them right, and that's why I never went heavy with them and preferred maybe the leg press, which honestly I still prefer, but it's nice to have the squats in the repertoire as well. So yeah, I never really squatted very heavy, but apparently I can do like 50, 60 kilos from, you know, I haven't trained that much in the last year. So still I was happy with that. And then also deadlifts. I did 75, like, you know, like, okay, that's great. Romanian, of course, a little bit less. And then for the chest press, she was surprised. She asked me what I used to do. I was like, okay, 45 kilos was kind of like my max. And she was like, okay, we'll start with 30. And I was like, yeah, that's easy. And then I did the 45, right? So, but she was also surprised. She was like, she must remember wrong. I'm like, no, did you really doubt me? Like, you know, but yeah, I was really happy with the fact that I apparently didn't lose all that much muscle mass, but also maybe she pushes me harder than I think I would push myself, right? And of course, when I go with my friends, we're not like, oh my God, you can, like, I don't see if, you know, they can go heavier. Like, maybe sometimes you think so, but it's different to have like a personal trainer who can actually like make sure that your form is still perfect and all that. So I'm really excited to keep that going. I kind of at some point want to really be able to do like a pull-up without assistance. That would be great. You know, sometimes I do need these rubber bands, or like when you have the weird machine at the gym where you can have that little stool, like, or like this little platform, right, where you can kneel on. That gives you a little bit of weight to go up. That's also really fun. But I prefer, yeah, I want to do it without any help. So that would be nice to do. And that's kind of my gym goal. So like, yeah, just get a little bit more consistent, lift heavier again. I also am trying to get more protein in now, of course. And I do not like normal protein powder. I've realized that. I'm just like, it doesn't taste good to me. I hate this protein aftertaste. I do like the ones that are like pre-made. In Sweden, they used to have a really good brand that was delicious. And here we get like, they're not as exciting. It's just vanilla or chocolate, you know, but it's fine. And I was also trying this Clear Whey protein powder. And actually that I prefer so much more compared to the normal protein powder. So I've tried 2 different brands now. I've tried Bulk, and I think it was Blue Raspberry. That was the flavor. That's actually pretty okay. Has like a slight protein aftertaste, but it's otherwise really fun. And then I tried the Women's Best Peached Iced Tea, and it literally has no aftertaste. I was like, what? And I hate that because if I want to order more, I have to get it delivered with FedEx again. And FedEx is a massive disaster. So I don't know if you watched my recent Women's Best review. I can also just link that up here. But FedEx was a massive disaster, like really. But yeah, if you also hate the taste of protein and you haven't tried Clear Whey, like Women's Best has at least a peach iced tea. I think they also do have some other flavors. I can't speak to those flavors, but the peach iced tea literally just tasted like peach iced tea. It also mixed very well. I had like the shaker, right? And I just shook it, and it was like, it was amazing. I was like, what is this? Like, that's crazy. Anyway, if you want to get more protein in. And also, of course, like at lunch now, I try to get, like, they usually have like sliced boiled eggs. So I try to like get some of that always on my plate to just get a little bit of extra protein here and there, right? Try my best, and I can keep you updated throughout the year if you are interested. So let's see how that goes. And otherwise, of course, I mean, I'm excited to try new activewear brands as well. Same activewear brands, new collections. Talking about that as well, Buffbunny collection has a new thing coming out. I do not have a coat with them anymore, but I think it's the 18th of January that they're launching. So this would be the coming weekend when you watch this video. If you watch it when it comes out, right? So January 18th, and it's usually 8 p.m. European Standard Time, or Central European Time, sorry. And like, what is it, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, right? The Eastern Standard Time, is it? Anyway, you'll find it out, but it's 8 p.m. Central European Time. So, and the collection was called Warrior, and they were trying something very different. Like usually we got like a big theme and then you just have like all kinds of things together. And now they have like these pillars. So we have cardio, we have relax or like rest or whatever, yoga, wellness, and lifting. So I think those are kind of the 4 pillars, and they're trying to have something for everyone. So we have different materials. We do get some Nuber fabric, we get some posh knit, we get some air knit, which honestly I found very, very see-through. So I don't know if that's changed now. Also, if you've recently been disappointed with the different feel of the Nuber fabric, apparently from this year it should be going back to normal. And there was an explanation for why it was different. I think it was the treatment of the fabric itself by the person, or by the fabric deliverer, basically. Something like that. But it should be back to normal. And we have like a very muted color palette. So it's still kind of nude tones for sure. A lot of like grayish tones. If I can find the color palette, I can just insert it here. So like nothing that's really like, wow, boom, I need this. They had like Arctic Moss, which was like a lighter green. And then there's a slightly darker green. And then there's also this blue that looks very similar to like Barista Blue, for example. So it's nothing that we haven't really seen before, which is maybe a little disappointing. They also do have new like loungewear that's cloud, I think, with fleece. So that sounds very interesting, and I might try some of that. I can also see if I can insert a picture here. If I can do that, I'll do that. And maybe a nice pink or a nice blue or a nice like grayish green. And otherwise, like the activewear itself didn't really, I don't know. I'm not so like, oh my God, never seen this before. Like, you know what? And because I'm really excited for this posh knit fabric because I tried it in the Halloween collection. I will just link the video up here as well. And the posh knit fabric feels great. I'm really looking forward to getting in normal leggings in this posh knit fabric. But you know what they did? They did this legging with the V-dip in the back. I recently tried one of those leggings from Gymshark and I hated it. I absolutely hate this. Like, why don't you just give me a normal legging in this beautiful posh knit fabric? Like last time, the legging was super, super short. It was kind of more like a mid-rise. I just want a high-waisted legging. No extra seams, no extra fuzz, normal length in this posh knit fabric. Is it really that hard? Apparently it is. I'm also going to insert a picture of that here, if I can find it. But yeah, like why do we have this V-dip? It feels really weird. I mean, maybe some of you really like this. I don't know. For me, like I know already that I won't get this because I tried the Gymshark legging and I know I cannot handle this V-dip in the back. Like especially in the back. I like my leggings to be like really nice and high-waisted. I want to just be covered and hugged and a little bit supported, you know? That's all I want. So yeah, that's not super exciting. There's maybe like a few things here and there that I will grab. So I will definitely make a review for you guys when I get the stuff. And, but yeah, I need to see more. Like, I feel like we're still in the slump from like starting last year where it was just like, kind of like basic colors, nudes, tones, not too much exciting, like not too many exciting things happening, not too many exciting details. And if there's exciting details, they're just not exciting, they're more like disappointing, kind of. But I will say we had highlights in the summer with the colors last year. And the Halloween launch, to be fair, also had some really good stuff. But overall, like I would say last year with Buffbunny collection was a little bit disappointing. And this year, so far I'm not hyped. I'm not too hyped. Let me know what you think. If you've already seen some of the pieces on their Instagram, and let me know what you think. But yes, so far I'm not too hyped. I will grab like probably like 5-6 pieces and just get a good mix and see, you know, what I think. But yes, moving on from this, I will just spend a few more minutes because my camera usually records 29 minutes and 59 seconds at the max for one clip. So, you know, we're just gonna get this. I'm just gonna get this in one take basically. And yeah. What was I gonna say? The moving, yes. so far, I would say my lighting hasn't been ideal for the past few months. I would have liked it a little bit more improved. Also, the space itself is fine, but it's not like my favorite with the light coming from the side and stuff. And a lot of stuff is still in boxes, which makes it really, really hard for me to do some of those comparison videos, some of those top 5s, top 10s, some of those books and activewear videos, right? Because I only have access to some part, because we live in this more temporary apartment that is furnished. So there's still a lot of boxes standing around simply because I didn't want to unpack everything because I already knew we were going to move again. And I have moved quite a few bits last year, but now Denmark, we're gonna stay here for a little bit longer. The jobs are good here, and in our like field in biotechnology, Denmark is like the capital for that in Europe. So there's a lot of opportunities and people are really nice, and the language is a little bit horrible, but at least I can read it. Yes, so that's good. And I really am looking forward to having that permanent place so I can finally unpack everything. When I do that, I will of course also like film another activewear organization video showing you how I'm going to organize everything that I have. I will introduce my new space to you and all that. And it's looking like we're very close to finding that permanent place, or having it. I shouldn't say finding because we found it, but I want everything to be wrapped up and like everything finalized before I will, you know, talk about it and show you everything basically. But it's looking like everything's coming together, so stay tuned for that. The space might not be happening for much longer, maybe another like 2 months. And then we will have a new space, and I will really try to optimize everything and have everything perfectly set up there with great lighting and everything. So yeah, exciting plans coming, exciting things happening this year. Let me know what you're doing in 2025. If you are trying to improve, if you're trying to move somewhere. What are your travel plans? See, I didn't even talk about my travel plans. To be fair, I don't really have anything super exciting. Just a little bit of traveling to Germany, of course, to Berlin to see my family, which I also did over Christmas. Yeah, by the way, I hope everyone had a good Christmas time, Happy New Year's and all that, right? Maybe definitely going to Canada at some point, probably spring, early summer, more like spring. And yeah, otherwise with the move coming up, there's going to be a lot of stuff happening. I also, of course, have my annual camping trip with my dad that's going to happen, and a festival as well, maybe 2, we'll see. Some concerts planned as well. And yeah, let me know what you have planned for this year. If you have any questions, like I said, about my life, about whatever, drop a comment down below, and I will soon do another live update when that whole moving situation is figured out. Yes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know no activewear trying on today, but it's happening again after this. So stay tuned for Thursday. And yeah, if you have anything that you want to let me know, any feedback, any suggestions, drop a comment down below. If you want to, you can also follow me on Instagram, DM me there, but I'm more likely to see your comments here on YouTube. So if there's ever anything, drop a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it your thumbs up. And also, if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel so you get notified about all the new videos that are coming out. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye.